Vague refers to something that is unclear or imprecise in its meaning or intention. Inconsistent, on the other hand, refers to something that does not remain the same or is not uniform in its behavior or quality.
We're back.
Ooh, actually, kind of does. Like, whoa! I kind of like that. Now, if I finally get it.
Wait. That's the pod. That's supposed to be the pod after dark. What's going on right now?
Man, I'm about to get me a Twitch account.
Lou's like hot tubs or ASMR. I don't know.
Fuck hot tubs. ASMR's the shit. I just found out.
I like when dudes whisper in my ear. It's kind of cool.
Man. Ooh-wee. Good thing I'm wearing the shorts with no drawers today.
How are you guys doing? We're doing this earlier than normal.
I know.
It's weird.
It is a little weird.
Stupid fucking hockey playoffs fucking up the schedule.
I mean,
you know what?
Of course, your team just had to be barely good enough to make the playoffs, and now we're like, oh god.
They were barely good enough for a minute, and then they fired their coach, and now they won their division. So
they won like 6 of the last 8 games or something like that. After they fired
and one of them
coach.
was an overtime loss. So
but I will admit, I was confused on the scheduling. I didn't realize you were actually going to the game.
Yes.
That did not register until you said something about the bus. And I was like, oh, you're actually going. I thought it was just like this fool wants to skip
now
the
it makes more sense.
Yeah.
It really does.
Well,
it really does.
To be fair,
because I'm sitting here like, how is he not like? You never said it.
It made sense to me.
To be fair, it did start with, are we going to do a watch-along on Sunday night? And then when we pivoted from that, then all of a sudden, Jack was like, well, I got to be on bus at 5. And it was like, oh, wait, never mind. Like, like I guess we couldn't do a watch-along, even if that was the decision we had reached.
I was like,
I'm sitting here, from the game. That's fine. My responses were all like, I'm like, bruh, just put the game on your phone or something like that while you're doing the pod. Like, what are you talking about?
I
was like, oh, you're going to be in an arena. Never mind.
But now you got your fancy new your fancy new pod top.
I am not using it though. This is still the old one.
Okay.
Because the monitor's not coming for like another week or 2. Some bullshit.
Such is life.
Such is life.
Why don't you just use your TV as the monitor? Go sit out in the living room.
I mean, I could, but I don't know if the camera would. Then you'd be watching me man spread the whole time, looking at my shorts.
Realizing he don't got drawers on either.
Bruh, that's fine. As long as you're whispering, you go right ahead. Just to think, a year ago, Duke could have been doing that while I'm going to bed every night in Japan. It's like, man, just whisper me to sleep, son. Can you believe that shit? A year ago? A year ago today would have been like, roughly today, would have been, end of celebration.
Yep. I was actually on my Facebook memories. It came up when I made it to the live cast when they were interviewing Diego. You could see my head in the background.
Let's see. They're 15 hours ahead. I would be in Osaka right now a year ago. World's Fair.
Almost. There I am, right there.
Oh, there, yep.
Whole ass motherfucker.
We were in Japan. My littlest was almost taller than everyone.
I was going to say, I mean, it's the closest I'm going to get to my fucking midget orgy. You just hang out in Japan for a minute.
No, that's the difference is every orgy in Japan is a midget orgy to you, Lou.
Yeah. And now you know why as soon as I got back to the States.
You just need to find the fuck floor and you're fine.
Yeah, where is level 2? Shit.
And why is there a level 3? I mean, I'm stopping at level 2 and never moving on.
I will take the stairs. I will take the stairs. We're good. I'll get my exercise before I get my exercise. Oh, shit.
How you guys doing? Life good?
Too bad, not too bad.
Yeah, like I said, other than tired, all good. Oh, I did save it. That was smart of me.
Lou's been up forever, so.
I've been up since yesterday, so.
Lou, don't sleep.
I was about to go to bed. I was about to go to bed, and it was like, "Hey, we're doing this." I'm like, "Wait, what? It's not Monday."
Is it Monday?
Scroll through. I have to go scroll through all that shit. I was like, "Oh, man."
I mean, well, let's get into. I mean, we have a bad habit of not just getting into things, and Jack has a bunch of stuff listed for itinerary for
so much stuff.
Topics this week.
Wait. Do you want to tell the people why we weren't on last week?
Because I went to Disneyland. Surprise!
Dude,
I was at this point. We were pulling into Boise, Idaho, after going to Moab for the weekend. Me and two of my buddies. So
Idaho.
We had
because they went to drive their little baby Broncos off road.
Little Bronquito action, which was awesome. Very, very glad that it happened. Very glad I did it. So Jack was like, "Well, fuck it, I'm going to Disneyland," and Lou's like, "I'm just gonna sit here and
watch Star Trek
and play Carcassonne."
Dude, I totally did play Carcassonne.
So the weekend was basically like me sending pictures of amazing landscapes and sunrises and stuff like that, and Jack going, "Look at all the shit I found at Disneyland," and Lou going like, "And I'm on episode 7, season 2 of Star Trek. It hasn't really gotten any better. I hope it does soon."
Man, it did get better. It took like season 1, there's 30 episodes. It took until episodes in the 20s, numbered in the 20s, before like the planet and the Enterprise flying around a planet looked pretty okay. I'm not gonna say it looked good. If we're not talking about Next Generation and modern stuff, but for the time, for 1967, it was like, oh, this is way different than what I saw in the first month of episodes. So basically the first 4 and then 10 and then 15 episodes. Like I just finished one episode left in season 1, and the second to last episode was the City on the Edge of Forever, which is basically, most people will say, the best episode of that original series ever. And it actually wasn't too bad. I was like, oh, all right, this is kind of cool. The episode before it sucked though. Some alternate universe episode that was horrible. Not Mirror Mirror season 2, and that's really good too. To me, that's number 1. The City on the Edge of Forever to me is number 2. I don't know if there's a 3 that I can think off the top of my head.
Tribbles.
Not Tribbles. No, that's fucking annoying. Fucking cat threw up all over the ship. You know what? Funny though.
Lou's like, just clean it out.
The episode from DS9 where they go back in time and do that Tribbles episode, like they were there, that was good. I didn't mind that. But the actual original series Tribbles episode was like, whatever. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, you're not wrong. I was basically Carcassonne and Star Trek last week.
Nothing wrong with that. Saving your money. Well, I guess then that's a good transition into the first topic, which, I think is going to be a little off the cuff, but so I know you said it before the pod that you guys actually had talked about it a couple weeks ago, but I know this week I saw a couple posts on Reddit and various other places of screenshots of the all of the television shows related to Star Wars and kind of where they fit as far as Rotten Tomatoes or that whatever kind of IMDb or whatever. So I
think it's because Maul came out and everybody's like, it's the best ranked Star Wars show ever.
For good reason.
Like 100% or something like that recently. So
especially episodes 3 and 4.
Do we want to have a conversation about what we think personally is the best?
What do we start?
Are we doing just live action, animated? What are we doing?
And then do the Lego series count? Because Rotten Tomatoes have those listed too. Those are too specials.
Yeah, I would call that
too much.
I would call that a special, like the Christmas episode and all that.
Canon shows.
Yeah. So anything since Disney took over, right? Then that would be
okay. So then the OG Clone Wars is out.
Correct.
Okay.
Even though that is, because we all agree that is the best.
Top 3 for sure.
Yeah.
But
okay. We'll take that out. Okay.
I'm trying to find the list of the picture that I saw. But we can have there we go. Okay. Critic and audience Rotten Tomato scores for projects since Disney took over. Okay. Found it. All right. So
how are you not ready? Jack had given you homework.
I know. Well, no, I was just going to go over them real quick, and then
the list of the list of all of them. Okay, go.
Yeah, and then we can debate it.
So what they included on this list was Rebels, the Clone Wars, the 7-season version,
Filoni.
Not the 10-minute. Yeah, the Filoni one,
Wars.
not the Powerpuff Girls one. Andor, the Acolyte, Resistance, Bad Batch, Tales of the Jedi, Skeleton Crew, The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Tales of the Underworld, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Tales of the Empire, and Maul.
Okay.
I think that covers it.
I don't know. I don't know if I would count Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Empire, or whatever. That seems like the specials as well. I wouldn't know if I'd include that as. Like in that case, just add in Visions.
Well, but is Visions canon though?
No.
Okay.
No, definitely not.
But I would say Tales of the Underworld, Tales of the Jedi, and Tales of the Empire are all canon, right?
They are.
So that would be where the difference would be. So, but we could talk about Visions. We could talk about. I haven't seen a bunch of the Lego stuff.
I'm fine skipping.
But
all right.
I saw the one Lego movie that came out like last year or year before. I didn't see this part 2 of it.
It was piece 2 because they were Legos.
Wow. Now I'm glad I didn't see it.
Flashlight?
Oh, bro, you beat me to it. Damn it.
I beat you to a communal fleshlight that we all share.
You totally, it's a totally shared one. Until you stretch it out, and then we can't use it anymore.
Just put it in the freezer for a little bit. It's fine.
Do we want to start at the bottom or go from the top?
Let's start at their bottom. What?
Let's see. This point doesn't have it in order, which is really annoying.
My bottom would probably be Acolyte.
Oh, that's
my bottom. No, my bottom would be Resistance.
See,
I watch Resistance before I watch Acolyte.
Ugh.
And the problem with Acolyte, think their editing and just like how they decided to tell the story just didn't make any sense at all. The flashbacks I don't think were handled very well.
But we got 3-hole punch Jackie out of it, which we didn't get out of Resistance.
Look, the Jedi stuff was good. It wasn't a very cohesive story. I was like, right. I want to know how all this happened.
But what do you mean the Jedi stuff was good?
But do you remember anything from Resistance?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like what?
I'm a spy.
Yeah. That annoying kid. I remember that annoying kid.
So Acolyte's worse because they had 2 annoying kids who happened to be twins. Is that what we're saying?
No, the story just wasn't as good as it should have been. And it was also tainted by the interviews. Taint. If the people weren't doing interviews talking shit about Star Wars before it came out, I would have been a little bit better with it. But I'm like, these people don't understand Star Wars, so how are they going to make a good Star Wars show?
And then you had that dumbass twin girl go in the middle of the series, drop a video hating on the fans because they thought everything was racist. That's the other thing. The cast was all like, oh, it's because we're lesbians. Oh, it's because we're black. It's because we're women. It's because your shit sucked.
That's because you went on TV and said R2-D2 was a lesbian. That didn't even make any sense.
You gotta turn every goddamn thing into whatever leftist point there is of why we fucking hate it. It's
maybe someday, if I forget about all this drama and I watch Acolyte again, it won't be as bad.
It'll still suck.
It might. Resistance, I didn't mind because at least they... I guess because, again, it was Filoni. So he knows what he's doing with Star Wars most of the time. I agree that Kaz wanting to be a spy and telling everybody he's a spy and all that stuff was lame. Once they started getting more away from that, it was not a horrible show. But unfortunately, the first half of the first season is all that. But I like the characters. Their robot dude was cool. I think his name was Bucket or something. He was cool as fuck. And the racing subplot with all the racers was really cool. And then you find out that their little water ship is actually a spaceship and they go into space. Amazing.
But would you still put that second worst?
Yes. Because there were a lot of
I feel like everyone was like, oh, young Anakin's like the worst character ever in Star Wars. And then Resistance was like, hold my beer.
Yep.
That's a great way to describe
You guys remember when the prequels came out? Everybody was like, he's such a whiner. He's such a little baby, blah, blah, blah. And then they were like, no, hang on. We will make you appreciate him.
You will yearn for episode 1.
I think yesterday was Hayden Christensen's birthday. So happy birthday, Hayden, who I'm sure listens to this pod.
He does. We have Canadian listeners.
He's it.
He is.
Okay, so then that gets us 2 off the list.
Okay, so but you were Acolyte at next to worst, and then Resistance. Okay.
I'm Resistance Acolyte. You guys are both Acolyte Resistance. I'm going to try to write them down in a list so we have a.
All right.
I'm fine out of the group if we decide as the group that Acolyte's the worst. I'm not. Again, we're doing 1A and 1B here, in my opinion. Like, I feel like those 2 shows definitely are the bottom of. I think the top of the list is going to get much harder to figure out than the bottom. I think everybody's pretty much on the same page there. Next, after that,
wait. So what was their bottom?
You said it wasn't really in an order, huh? Well, and the problem is this one also has the movies. So let me see real quick. They have Resistance at 93% and the Acolyte at 79%. and their lowest is, according to Rotten Tomatoes, looks like it's Acolyte at 79%.
Okay.
A couple of the movies they have some movie called Rise of Skywalker, which I don't even remember. They have that one at 51% and Solo at 69%. But we're not talking movies, so it doesn't matter. So, how about next show after that, Lou? I mean,
Skeleton
as far as
Crew.
all the shows go, Skeleton Crew.
Yeah,
Jack.
I believe there are 15 on that list, and Skeleton Crew is number 13 for me. So 15, 14, 13, Skeleton Crew.
I think I would go Book of Boba Fett. I enjoyed Skeleton Crew way more than
mine. That's funny. That is funny. The whole top 2 theme, because that's my number 12.
So.
And I'm basing, just to be clear, I'm basing mine kind of on a rewatchable rate, as in what would I watch before the next one, and I'm kind of doing it that way. Okay, I'm not saying that all episodes and everything sucked and all that, because that episode 4, I believe, the Jedi fight with the Master in the woods, that was a hell of an episode and hell of a fight scene in Acolyte. But it didn't save the show, you know what I mean? So it's not like everything was horrible. But if I were to go back, I'm like, hey, you can watch whatever. You have a long flight. What order are you watching this stuff in? Then that's how I'm basing mine. And I would watch Skeleton Crew after I'd watch Book.
I mean,
even though both of them are bad.
Yep, I'm already out. That's already a hard choice.
I don't have any Boba Fett
already
shirts,
hard.
But I do have a Neil shirt. So there you go. If I had if I went with my heart, Skeleton Crew would be number 1. But I don't, I'm going with logic here.
All right, if we are basing it on that, the rewatchability, I would start in on the Tales already. Probably.
Wow. Okay.
Tales of the Underworld. That one was my least favorite out of the 3, even though they had a whole Cad Bane episode.
They had 2 didn't they have 2 Cad Bane episodes?
Or like 2 or 3. However they break it down. They had a Cad Bane arc.
Yeah.
But that one...
and you're all over Cad Bane's nuts, so...
I have his plushie.
multiple plushies. That's just one that you happen to have nearby.
Yeah. I was just looking. I have his hot toy too. So that's $300 right out the bank on Cad Bane.
Yeah. I just have a $70 shirt for my representation. So you've spent way more on yours.
But yeah, that one was the weakest for me out of the Tales. So I would go Tales already.
I kind of clumped all the Tales together. I numbered them differently. Like when we get to it, it's 1, 2, 3, like in my middle of my list. It was not like, oh, Tales of this one is 12 and the other one's not. No, it's going to be 5, 6, 7 or 7, 8, 9. I don't want to spoil it. So when we get there, we'll get there. But yeah, so it was
Skeleton Crew. Right?
Skeleton Crew for me for 13. And you said
hates children.
Book of Boba Fett. I hate the same storyline of that Star Wars has been doing forever. It's like, man, it's like Star Wars just saw all the Jason Statham movies and said, hey, let's have somebody watch a kid.
They should have called it the Skeleton Transporter.
For real.
Jude Law was great in it, though. You can't hate on him too much, though. He was great.
No. I didn't mind the acting of any of them, honestly. I thought the girl that had, what was it, the eyepiece, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she did a hell of a job.
Something.
No, something. Either way, I thought the acting was fine. I just didn't care for the story. It was like, okay. It was like, something, you watch a show and there's filler episodes.
Mm-hmm.
This just felt like a filler show. The whole thing was filler. It was like,
well,
okay.
That was the first half of Book of Boba Fett before it became Mandalorian season 4.5, Like,
well, that's why that one's 12 on my list, right after Skeleton Crew. So, yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, I'm with you. But because Mando had 2 episodes in that, I'd rather watch that than before Skeleton Crew. That's my.
But I guess I view it as the opposite, right? At least Skeleton Crew hung with the same story throughout, instead of them pulling the parachute and panicking halfway through Book of Boba Fett, going like, "Oh shit, this isn't what we wanted to do. Let's put Mando in for a couple episodes because people love him."
Yeah, season 2.5.
Yeah. And then Jack said Tales of the Underworld. I'll be honest, like the Tales shows, I enjoyed them, but I don't remember shit all from any of them. Like, I remember little
Underworld
bits and pieces.
Massage too, right?
Dooku? Yeah.
I mean, but as far as like compared to the other shows, right? All the other shows I like have, but for the Tales ones, like I'm like, okay, Yaddle, okay, cool. But then I'm like, have I ever thought about Yaddle before? And will I think about her after? Probably not. Like
every time I see Bryce Dallas Howard, I will think of Yaddle.
So
you know what though, I appreciate that episode with Dooku and Yaddle, because there was a lot of talk in the circles, at least some of the shit that, like Jim, for example, and just other people when I was working at Charlie's store and all this, where people are like, well, from episode 1 to 2, what the hell happened to Yaddle? And to have that explanation, I felt good about that. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Closure.
All right, Lou, what's your number?
12 going backwards.
Yeah,
so,
12.
Book of Boba Fett.
So far, we have Acolyte, Resistance, Skeleton Crew, and Book of Boba Fett, and then Jack has thrown in Tales of the Underworld. So
after Book of Boba Fett would be Obi-Wan.
Let's see. I would probably put Skeleton Crew down. Again, nothing against it, but it doesn't have, at least up to this point, it doesn't have a fit in the greater universe, right? Like, there's nothing connecting it to anything else. Like, we know it takes place during Mandalorian. Yeah, exactly. We know it takes place during Mandalorian's time, but nothing connects it to anything else so far.
But the Wolf Captain was OG from New Hope, like his species represented.
Species was, and that one pirate dude was in Mando.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's about the only connection.
And it had Urkel.
That's true too. But
I forgot about that.
As a one-off, like Skeleton Crew could become higher, but they need to do more with it. I need a season 2. Like, go somewhere with this, right? It's just as it is. It's just there, and then you move on with your life. But you can't end on like that huge cliffhanger they did where they're like a banking plant, and now everybody knows where they're at, and nothing.
And people are coming.
Yeah. I need more, and then it will help bump it up.
In isolation, it doesn't work because there's a bigger picture there.
Exactly. Right? Yeah. And honestly, it doesn't have to connect to anything. I think I'm just not happy with the ending with hey, we're going to do season 2.
Right.
But then it's going to turn into Stranger Things. These kids are going to be 73, acting like they're still in high school. Except for Neil. Because he's just a costume.
With perfect hair.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is where I would slot in Tales of the Underworld, just because I don't. Out of those 3 animated series, that's the one that I have the least kind of connection to. When I was watching it, it wasn't like it was a slog, but it wasn't. I wasn't necessarily enjoying it. Like Jack was saying earlier, or Lou was saying earlier, there were moments that I was like, "Oh yeah, that's cool. Oh yeah, that's cool." Overall, I wasn't like, boy, I want to power through these, type of thing. It was, I just want to get through this because I'm now invested, right? It's Star Wars, right? It was the only Star Wars we had at the time, or whatever it was,
Right.
So I think that's where I would put Tales of the Underworld there. So we have Obi-Wan, Tales of the Underworld, and Skeleton Crew as like number 12-ish for us.
Lou's looking at his list.
Something like that. Yeah, I'm saying something like that because going backwards 15-1. Like I said, I'm at 11. 11 was Obi-Wan for me. For me, it was Acolyte, Resistance, Skeleton Crew, Book of Boba Fett, and Obi-Wan.
Lou's ahead of us.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I'm going to take a break so you guys catch
up.
15-11. Yeah, I just did 15-11. And I would have watched those Tales ones before Obi-Wan again. That's why I was like, I like them. So, but I like Tales story, of the Empire. Though. You know, how many times have I, if you or you, Jack, or anybody you've been around, and somebody's telling a story, how many times do I interrupt to get details? I want the complete story, and getting that information in Tales. I liked it because I got that information. It's probably why I have Skeleton Crew low also. We were just talking about it. The where does it fit? I'm like, what did this do for me? Nothing. It's a Star Wars story. Okay, great. No, thank you. It's like connected to something, and like you said, Jack, connected to something, and I could probably move it up a lot.
So the Tales of the Empire was Dooku and...
No, I think it was Tales of the Jedi, wasn't it?
Which one was
that?
Tales?
Was Ahsoka.
What was Tales of the Empire? Hold
on. It was. That was the one with Barriss, right?
Oh, yeah. With her. After Thrawn. She got expelled, right?
Yeah, her and how Thrawn and the Night Sister lady hooked up.
The one from Acolyte.
Yeah.
Something with an M.
Yeah, Madame Morrible or something. Oh, Morgan.
Yeah.
Morgan Elsbeth.
Morgan. I could picture the adorable.
Right.
I think I would put that as number 10 for me, or 11 in that window. Just because, like, I mean, again, I had to ask what the arcs were. Like, I'm like, wait, what was that show even about? Like, and yeah, I mean, I liked the Barriss Sophie character, and I did like the arc, but the fact that I didn't remember it all, to me, is like, okay, well, there you go. That's,
So she got redemption, but fuck her, she doesn't get redemption. You know what? Put that one below at the very end. It's like number 20. There's Star Wars shows that haven't come out yet, and it's still at the bottom. Yeah.
It's one of those ones where it's like number 1, number 2, and then ... 37. Like,
yep. Yeah, she fucked over Ahsoka. She does not deserve her redemption. So I guess my next one would be probably Boba Fett, because I liked Obi-Wan better than Boba Fett. So yeah, I'd go Book of Boba Fett, and that was just, I don't care that he's not like some badass ruthless bounty hunter anymore. I understand being old, getting fucked over by your boss, and you're like, fuck this, I want a different life. And that's what everybody complained about that show. It just could have been a little bit better. But, I mean, Tim's good. Mulan was good. Riding the Rancor was cool. Take out the Mandalorian episodes. But, I mean, it was cool to see Boba Fett, like, how he got back and got out of the ring, or the Sarlacc and everything, so. And killing Fat Bib Fortuna.
But I would make the argument that Lou or you had made earlier about Acolyte, where the flashbacks and stuff like that just muddied that story. Yes. Like, I feel like those flashbacks were significantly worse than the Acolyte.
Because I don't know how long he was with the Tuskens. It seems like it was either a couple years or 3 weeks.
And again, I think that goes back to story flow and editing. Like, the fact that it felt very haphazard. Like, right. They had this thing where they're like, well, we want to tell Boba Fett's story. And it's like, okay, well, cool, you can do that. And I think we even talked about it during the show. You could have had all those flashback episodes at, 1 episode or 2 episodes, and then do a smash cut to him crawling out of the Sarlacc, we now understand where all of this stuff that he's now doing in the second half of the season, when he goes and gets the biker gang and he goes and does this, because he did that with Tuskens, right? It made way more sense than them going like, why is he walking into the bar to talk to the biker gang? Smash cut to him having a chat with the Tuskens and then them coming together to go against the train. They could have done the story flow could have been way better, in my opinion, for that for Boba Fett than it was.
Funny enough, that's kind of where Obi-Wan did it right. When they did a flashback with Anakin, they tied it in to what was going on in the present versus just, here's a flashback. Like, no, it's relevant to what's happening now. And they didn't do that in Book of Boba Fett. They just, here's a flashback to give you some story, but it doesn't tie into what's going on. If you're going to do that, just have an episode that is all flashback so it doesn't have to tie into something. That's just bad direction.
Right.
Well, and it was like, he's in a Bacta tank, and we watch him in a Bacta tank for 2 minutes, and then we do a fade to like him having some sort of dream or memory sequence completely unrelated to what had happened and gotten him in the tank.
Right,
like
exactly.
That,
bad direction.
For example, So that's why I think I put Boba Fett, because out of all of them, I think Boba Fett had the worst.
It did give us
like
Black Chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum.
The coolest.
You got that dude's autograph.
Yep.
Cool dude. The guy was super chill.
All right.
Are we caught up? Are we all on the same 11? Are we all 15 through 11 right now?
I think
Bottom
so.
5 done.
I should have done my list different, but it's okay. I should have
just do 1 through 5. Just do 1 through 15 and then go backwards. That's what I did. When you gave us the list, I wrote them all down.
I was trying to keep track of our list overall. That was a bad call on my part. That was one of those in my head when I first started opening up Notepad. It made total sense, and then I was like, "Oh, never mind. This was bad." Okay. I had Tales of the Empire. Jack had Skeleton Crew, and Lou had Obi-Wan, right?
For 11, yeah.
For 11. Okay,
yeah.
So now for number 10. This is where it gets tough. I think the hard one to put in the middle of all this is, number one, I didn't see all of Clone Wars. But Clone Wars also encapsulates so much more of the history of Star Wars than any of these other shows do. So I think that's the challenge for me, is that there were good stuff with Clone Wars, but then there was also some really bad stuff with Clone Wars because it was so long. Like we were just having the conversation earlier about Star Trek, right? Like Star Trek, when you have conversations with people about Star Trek now and people are like, oh my God, like Star Trek was the best. But then if you go back and like you were doing right now, Lou, and just watching it with like a unfiltered, I've never seen this before, I'm going to watch it from beginning to end. You're like, wow, like, okay, cool. There was like 5 or 6 episodes in this 30 episode window that were okay to good. But then there were 25 episodes that were fucking trash. And I think that's the hard part, is we're talking about all these shows that had 1 or 2 seasons. The one that we're going to get to that had the most seasons was Mandalorian. And that's 3 seasons, right?
3.
And
fourth doesn't come out till next month.
Compared to the Clone Wars that had 6/7. But I mean, it'll be interesting to see, Lou, how true you are on that, right? Like, is this just an extended episode, or is it something? Were they able to make it something different? You know,
that last trailer gave me hope.
So that's where I'm like, okay, like a lot of these other shows, I have more of a affinity for because I watched the whole thing.
So are you about to blaspheme?
No.
Clone Wars at 10.
I'm hearing all that. I'm like, okay, so what's number 10?
So, you know what? I'm going to put Ahsoka at number 10, I think.
Boom. I'm with you on that one. I had Ahsoka number 10
okay.
also.
Like, but that's the hard part is like, I'm like, okay, well, where do I put Clone Wars? Because you could put Clone Wars at 10 based on the crappy episodes, or you could put it, or you could put it at number 2 after Mandalorian, of course. So,
hold on, I need to start stretching. We about to fight.
Man, I'm about to take my earrings off, dog.
Jack's looking up flights right now. I've never been to Portland, but I'll figure it out. So I'm gonna go with Ahsoka.
So you're both
at number
Ahsoka.
10.
Okay. This is where I would put Obi-Wan. Again, okay. I never thought the show was necessary. I said they had to have a really good reason for him to leave Tatooine and bail on Luke.
Yeah.
They gave him a good reason. I don't like that he knew little Leia. And then she's like, oh, General Kenobi, you served my father in Clone Wars. Instead of saying, what up, Ben? Why don't you come help me? Some shit's going down. Right? So to me, that broke canon a little bit in my head. Also, when I left you, I was but the learner. Now I'm the master. I kind of broke it too because they fought again. So to me, the only reason they made that show was to put Hayden and Ewan together again, which was amazing, but unnecessary.
They could have done the live Clone Wars with just them, and it would have been better.
Honestly,
Well, I mean, that's all we wanted, right? I mean, even way back at the prequel days we were like, wait, no. We want to see these guys. We want to see their relationship develop and then deteriorate, right?
Yeah.
We want to get to, that was something that I always felt was missing. And Obi-Wan didn't necessarily fill those gaps in, right? And I mean, we were even just saying the flashbacks of that show, I think, are some of the best flashbacks that Star Wars has done, right?
But if you make that the show, could just be our affinity for seeing Obi-Wan and Anakin together.
But my point is, if they would have made Obi-Wan the Clone Wars, where he's pulling him out of the nest of Gundarks and that type of thing, like
right,
then kind of bridging the arch between 2 and 3 to where we now know, instead of just inferring this is through a couple of short scenes at the Jedi Temple, why Anakin is so frustrated with everything, right? Like, you have a series, you have a mini series, you have Tales of Jedi, you have Tales of the Hell, make Obi-Wan an animated series and just have them do the voices. I would have been fine with that. Like, so I'm with you on that one.
Not to mention in Obi-Wan, all the dumb shit that was going on, like the bombardment from space that didn't happen on the camp. There was just so many dumb things that happened in that show. It was the whole, I'm going to hide you in my coat. Get the fuck out of here.
3 midgets and a coat.
All right, so you haters on Ahsoka. What? Go.
I'm trying to think of something that was good. Hang on.
I still ranked above Acolyte.
I do like Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka.
I don't.
I'm saying the visual, right? I think.
Yeah, I don't.
No? Who else do you think would make a better Ahsoka then?
Somebody who's thinner. I don't care who. But Ahsoka was a thin frame. Rosario Dawson is not a thin frame.
Thick girl.
Like, if she was thick in the Clone Wars and in Rebels, I'd have been fine with that. But she's not. So when I see Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka, I'm already turned off. It's like, no. Sabine was the best match. Ezra, a better match than Rosario as Ahsoka. So the look already throws me off. Story-wise, I would have rather all that happen in Rebel Season 5 and be animated. That's the thing. I mean, the look would have been better for me. So when I'm looking at these characters, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I don't need to see fat-ass Thrawn. Thrawn ain't fat. Come on now, let's be real. They tried to film him at different angles to make him look thinner. I get it. But no. Thrawn's one of the. I mean, I'm looking up here at 3 Funko Pops of Thrawn. 2 of them totaling about $1,000, and I'm all like that's my boy, and like
Thrawn doesn't miss leg day.
Thrawn doesn't miss buffet. Come on. So there's so much that was like, especially having, and I had no problem saying having Rebels in my top 3, and then you go to Ahsoka, which is Rebels season 5, and it to be like that. I didn't mind the story. That really didn't bother me, and I like to see where they're going to go with the Balin, and the girl. Shin Hati. So I'm very curious in how that's tying in with the Clone Wars and the father, the daughter, the son, that whole thing. That super cool, but the execution is where it was lacking for me.
And again, I mean, we've had this conversation too when it comes to movies and TV shows and stuff. Is I want to see certain aspects of the story. I don't want you to have 2 people having a conversation in a spaceship to tell me how we went from them walking away together at the end of Rebels to fast forwarding to some window of time later, and now they're just circling back, and there's tension and there's some sort of level of anger and frustration and stuff. And then they have one conversation, and then they're like, okay, well, that established what happened. No. I want to see that shit. I want to see where Sabine's like, fuck you, I'm out. I'm not a Jedi. I'm not doing... Which, again, not mentioned ever.
Why did they make her a Jedi in the first place?
Exactly. That's my point, right? Like, there's a huge gap there where you're making all of these assumptions through these short conversations that we're supposed to like, oh, okay, I mean, I guess that fills in that gap. So that was my frustration with Ahsoka, was that there was a ton of that stuff where it was just inferred through a short conversation or a visual, just a quick visual, like, oh, look over here, like this is how this works. And you're like, wait, no, I want to know how she got to this point. I want to know how she learned this. I want to, that type of thing. Fine. You want to make Sabine a Jedi? Cool,
Tales from Lothal in our future.
But again, that's... But yeah, it's like they sit on Reddit and they go, "Oh, what are people complaining most about?" Oh, they're complaining about the Ahsoka gap. Okay, how are we going to fill that in, right? Like
inside gap though.
I did like that they didn't get to the end of Rebels finale until like episode 3. I wish it would have been more exact. They did as close as they could. I recognize that, but it's already done. Just copy that exactly. Not a little bit. It needs to be exact. That type of shit drives me crazy. Do it exactly. Say the exact same things. Wear the exact same stuff. Have all your angles. I should be able to put them up and not tell which one is which. But
I will say that Balin Skull is in my opinion, one of the best bad guys that they've introduced since Disney has taken over. Yeah, new character.
And I would even call him a bad guy yet. We don't know.
Well, but I'm saying, like, presented as a villain, right? Because in the world, everybody's a hero or a villain, right? There's no people in the middle. But I would also 100% watch a television show that went around his history. Like, how did he get to where he was? Like,
I'm hoping that they fill that in, because
it's sad that he left us, because that's going to be big shoes for that guy from Game of Thrones to fill. So
yes, it will.
All right, now we're getting to the stressful parts here, boys.
Not really. Not for me anyway. The stressful part was top 5. That was stressful.
Number 8? Is that where we're at now?
No, that was 10.
Okay.
So we're on 9.
Okay.
For me, 9 is Tales of the Underworld. So I was like I said, you're gonna, like I told you, they're gonna find 9, 8, 7.
Did I?
Well, do all 3 of them. Which order? What order you got?
9, 8, 7. Underworld, Jedi, Empire.
Okay.
I would have watched it order. I would have watched Empire before I would. You know what I mean? I would go.
This is where I will throw in my last couple of tales. I would do Empire and then Jedi.
I think I'll go in there somewhere. Like that's I would put the Tales in there as well for 8 and 9. 8, 9. Did I already have a Tales on my list? I think I did.
I think you did
Underworld
Empire
already.
You did
Empire?
You did. Yeah, I thought so too.
So then I'll do Underworld and Jedi.
Underworld's 9, Jedi's 8, Empire 7 for me. But I think let's be real. I think Jedi, Empire, that just leans because I lean more towards the dark side stuff. So for me, I just like that story.
But with that,
also,
I like
Tales of the Jedi. I think, I think Tales of the Jedi, the Ahsoka story, is a much better story in that than the TV show. Like, because you get to learn.
That was a good story.
You get to learn how she. To me, it's developing how she started from leaving the Order till she became Pendulum or whatever the fuck her name is, right? Like it developed how she still viewed things, right? Like how her mind, how she was evolving as a character. I don't feel like we got that a whole lot in Ahsoka. I feel like that kind of was like almost reset to one degree or another. And then we went through that again. So we're on 7, 8 right now. Is that
for me? That was 9, 8, 7.
Okay.
So you guys did do your 7.
I think we're on 7. So.
Yeah, you two are on 7.
Shit, I guess this is where I'll fit Ahsoka in. Because I am not ashamed to say it. I love Ahsoka. I like most everything that Filoni does. And I was super entertained by pretty much all of it. Plus Sabine. I don't agree that she's a Jedi. I'm interested to see where it goes, but why not just be a bounty hunter? Right.
Yeah.
Why can't she just be Sabine? She didn't have to be more, right? We see with Bo-Katan, Din, there's nothing wrong with being Mandalorian and just being you, right? So why did she have to be a Jedi? When there was zero of any kind of like precog or force use in Rebels. If there had been just one use of it, and it made you think that maybe, cool. But there was nothing in Rebels for
like Finn.
I thought I saw one. I thought I saw one with the guys were having a conversation about it, and I think I saw something where there's like one throwaway line in one of the episodes of Rebels where Kanan says something to Sabine, and like but it was like in the middle of like a bigger conversation. But like they were like, well, he said this one line, so that means, and I'm just like, but they never made it a point, right? Having it be part of a bigger conversation is one thing, but I think we're all in agreement that Sabine being a Jedi is one of the worst decisions Filoni's made. It just doesn't make any sense in the continuity of things. All right, well, I mean, because of the other ones, me having you know what? I think I'm going to put Maul here just because Maul isn't complete. And I'm enjoying Maul, but I'm not. I've read a few things where people are talking about how slow it is. And I get that's the point, is that they want to draw this out a little bit. But we're halfway through it. And we haven't even, we just finally, the last scene, stuff started to actually really happen as far as, interactions between, I feel like they're going to have to rush, why can't I think of her name?
Devin.
Devin. They're going to have to rush Devin's.
I have to know that since I spent $300 on the lightsaber.
Progression, right? They're going to have to rush her progression to go from where she's at right now, where she's somewhat frustrated and maybe questioning some things, to getting to be like, okay, Maul, you're the fucking man. I'm rolling with you, right? Because that's the goal,
Not
right?
really.
That's it.
See, I disagree. Because there's still 6 more episodes left and a second season coming. They don't have to rush anything.
But my point is that, what's really happened in the first 4 episodes? Like, we've established that Maul has a small group of people that work with him. And I guess Rook Cass has been around before, or is this the first time that we've seen her?
She was in Clone Wars.
Okay.
She was in Clone Wars.
So for me, I guess maybe because I hadn't watched all of Clone Wars, that Maul isn't hitting as hard as it should. with me, so I'm going to put Maul there at for me right now, at least
6.
at this point. Yeah,
that's at 6. Jack, what do you got at 6?
Shit. Well, we've done all the live action except for Mando. That's going to be a little bit higher.
Live? No, there's still Andor.
Yeah, I still have Andor and Mando.
Yeah, for live action.
You know what? Blaspheme, but I will put Andor here.
I put Mando here, but okay.
I enjoyed Andor, but is it the greatest thing they've ever put out? Not in my opinion. I like the Wars part of Star Wars. I like Andor. I like everything about that show. But honestly, my top 5 is going to be more on the animated side at this point.
Yeah, I got Mando at 6. It started off a freaking fireworks everywhere in season 1, and obviously season 2 ended well, but fan service, Luke, blah blah blah. 3 was god awful. So Mando, if it had stayed on the pace of season 1, probably be higher, but it's number 6 for me. Definitely rewatchable, but yeah,
probably in the next couple weeks, honestly.
So we have
with the movie coming out, You're not wrong. It's a quick watch, 30 episodes over 3 seasons, 32 if you include Book of Boba Fett's 2 episodes, which probably should include.
Yes.
So 32 episodes. That's an easy watch in mid-May before the movie comes out. But yeah, it just went the rank, the scale of season 1, 2, 3. It just went downhill.
Although I am interested to see what you think on rewatch, because you're a rewatch and reassess kind of person, so it will be interesting to see what you think on rewatch.
I don't think I did watch season 1 twice. I've seen all 3 seasons twice, and it didn't change. When season 1 was still good. Season 2 was fan service. Season 3 was Bo-Katan show, not Mando show. So,
fuck you.
And that season 3 is really weighing down the show for me. I'd probably be higher if it wasn't for season 2.
But had they made it a Bo-Katan show, had they spun it off into her own miniseries,
yeah, I'd be fine with it.
And Mando would be ranked higher because it wouldn't, right? Like,
it might be, because the other ones that have above it are still better than even if it was good.
Yeah.
I mean, but I would have preferred, like, when it's kind of like I told you guys several times about Logan, how I hated it until I watched the second time with different eyes, because I wanted a superhero show instead of this drama. And the superhero show of Logan was horrible, but the drama of Logan was goddamn fantastic. So if you come at me and say, hey, we're not doing a Mando season 3, but we're going to do a Bo-Katan season 1, and it's basically the same thing, Mando season 3, I'd feel better about it. It's, you know what I mean? It's like if you're going to pitch something to me, if you're going to try to sell me this, then make sure, when I buy it, I'm getting what you were selling. And you were trying to sell me Mando, and you gave me Bo-Katan season 1. So that's my real issue. I mean, again, I'm not sure Mando would even be higher. It might have moved up 2 spots if they did that, but they didn't. So, all right, what you guys got for 5? Top 5.
Go for it, Jack.
This is where I'll put Mando. I enjoy it. Grogu's adorable. I like Bo-Katan, so I don't care if season 3 was the Bo-Katan show, the Book of Bo-Katan. I like all the Mandalorian story and all that stuff, so I enjoyed Mandalorian. Even season 3.
What am I missing?
Also, it had the dopest poster. I think you didn't do 60.
Okay. I was going to say you're not wrong.
I thought my 6 was Maul.
Oh, yes, you're right.
I'm just trying to figure. I'm looking over the list, going like, "Wait, okay, I'm putting the rest of them."
You haven't clicked yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Mandalorian's brought us a lot of good stuff. It's kept Star Wars alive post movies. But yeah, who doesn't like Grogu?
Okay, right. I got it.
Live action
5 for me is Maul. I'm enjoying 4 episodes, and the last 2, phenomenal. I love the way the characters are developing. I love the way Devin has changed from the first episode to the 4th. I love that Maul is in complete control. Again, it goes back to what I said about half an hour ago. I am getting the rest of the story that I didn't get, leading up to
and Solo.
What happened? What happened to the end of this to Solo? What happened to the end of this to Rebels? What happened to all that? And now I'm getting it. At the very least, I don't have it yet, but that's what they're working on. And to have it all play out the way it's being played out, don't get me wrong, there's some shit that's annoying. Fucking Two Boots always wanting to bring in the Empire. It's like, dude, shut up. We know.
He has a snitch, but Two Boots is awesome.
It's like that Resistance kid. I'm getting the vibes of that Resistance kid of, I'm a spy. And it's like, okay, we know you want to inform the Empire. Shut the fuck up.
But he's a robot, so he has programming he has to follow.
Right.
So you can't hold it all the way against him.
Chain of command. And once the chain of command says stop, you don't bring it up again. As a military kid, that's how that works. Dude, it's like, hey, not bringing the Empire, don't bring it up again. If he's a subordinate, that's what should happen. So that part's annoying. But with all the other characters, basically all, even the little the little guy who's the New Yorker, the mob boss guy, all of them, the characters, great. They're still, I know we're only 40% through it, but that 40% is enough to put it in my top 5 and number 5. I get that it's slow. I get that, but it has to be. You have to establish the characters. You have to figure out who's who, and why. Maul is the only one we really know what his history is. The rest of them, we're just finding out. So I'm usually the one to bitch about a slow burn. This one's great.
All right.
Duke, number 5.
Well, and again, here's where you guys are both going to hop in flights and come to my house.
He's going to say
I'm going to put Clone Wars at 5 for me. Just out of all of the shows, Clone Wars is the one that I have the least exposure to. Like, I've seen some episodes, and I think at one point I did try to marathon it, but I just could, like, life, world, whatever came up, that I just never, it was never something that was a priority as far as, by the time I was getting kind of back into Star Wars and that type of stuff, it had already started and was like already a couple seasons in to where I was like, I don't think I can catch up on this. And then you started hearing all the stuff about it, and then you were like, well, now I don't need to watch it anymore. I feel like I've got what I need to get out of it. So I put Clone Wars at 5. So that might change if I watch it. So I know this will be the end of the podcast.
I was all like, as soon as I heard that, I was like, Clone Wars 5. I'm going to get a drink, go to the bathroom, go poop real quick. I'll be back in half an hour.
All right, well, what you got after Clone Wars, then, Dave?
Yeah, I was going to say, what you got for 4, then?
Mando. I have Mando at 4. I mean, along those lines. But again, we can go back now, and I feel like at this point we can go back now and go like, okay, so Lou, again, going back to the series that have multiple seasons, right? Does the worst season of Rebels bring down the best season of Rebels, right? Does the worst season of Clone Wars bring down the best season of Clone Wars, right? Like, you say, okay, episode 1 of season 1 of Mando was fire. Well, but season 3 of Mando sucked. Okay, cool. But there were also seasons of Clone Wars that weren't the best. There were seasons of Bad Batch that weren't the best.
No,
there were seasons of Rebels.
Episodes that weren't the best. But there were no seasons that were bad.
But overall, like I put Mando at 4. I mean, I enjoy Mando a lot. I'm glad that it's related tangentially to the universe without necessarily being like, oh, then Mando takes his helmet off and it turns out he's the long lost brother of Luke, type of thing. Some
he's
bullshit like that. Yeah. Oh, he's a Skywalker.
My name is Din Skywalker.
Grogu is
for real.
Yeah. Grogu is actually Yoda's son. That type of thing. Like, so yeah, I put Mando at 4.
And yes, those episodes are bad enough to bring down the whole show. When you only have 32 episodes, and 10 of them don't belong, and 2 of them weren't even in your own show, that's not a good sign.
How many episodes was Book of Boba Fett?
8.
Okay, so
8 or 9. 8 or 9.
So 1/4 of those shows don't belong in that.
100%. That's how bad Book of Boba Fett is. That you got really 4 or 5 episodes when all was said and done, or whatever the number really was, 6, 7. So, because I can't remember if it was.
All right,
what's your guys'
number 4?
Lou's about to say Bad Batch.
Really? Oh. What is it? What was your number 4? All right.
Okay.
It was a toss-up. It was a toss-up, but Bad Batch is actually 3, so you're not too far off. But yeah, and Andor was really good. I really enjoyed that show. It's easy to rewatch. So much going on. The politics in Star Wars that people don't think exists. Like, leave politics out of Star Wars. I'm like, did you not know what Star Wars is? It's freaking started off in politics. Freaking idiots.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back to the trade stuff and all that, it's all politics. So to see all that play out, again, getting more history, getting more story, getting more details of what happened and why. Andor is really, really well done. The other 3, and I mean, if you're paying attention, you know what 3 are left. I just think the other 3 are just better than Andor. That's all. So,
all right. This is where I'll drop Maul
for me, Andor.
Again, it's not done, but this is where Maul goes in. So I'm enjoying it. I think that the art style they went with is really amazing. Like kind of like a painted almost. Like when you look at Maul,
oh my God, it is
painted.
Bro, they're painting on glass on some of the shots.
Yeah. And I'm like, I dig this. And again, like Lou said, backstory, I want to see what happened to Maul, right? Like we brought him back in Clone Wars, brought him back again in Rebels, and in Solo. The fuck was he up to between all this, right? So I'm super enjoying it. And I love Two Boots, even if he is a snitch.
I like the voice actor.
Snitch. Yeah.
I like the voice actor.
And Spybot.
That dude.
I like Spybot too.
Spybot I like better than Two Boots. Spybot's a little asshole. I like him.
It does look like Maul definitely took influences from Visions, in my opinion. Like as far as the animation style and stuff. Like,
I mean, they've always like switched it up, like between Clone Wars, Rebels, Bad Batch, Lucasfilm Animation. Just they always want to push themselves, and they do it. They succeed every single time.
Yeah,
and that wasn't meant as a criticism, right?
Oh, yeah,
it's definitely much different. Yeah. It's definitely much different than the Bad Batch, Clone Wars, Tales animation was. That's why I was like, to me, it feels like the art style and stuff is way more influenced by Visions or somebody from Visions, one of the studios from Visions, than from their traditional what they've already established as kind of being their art style. So
I would have been fine with it in either the Clone Wars or Rebel style, since Maul was in Clone Wars and Rebels, the whole thing. But when I found out that they were painting on glass to get some of those that look, God, it looks so good. It really does.
Did you do 4D?
Yeah, I said Mando.
Okay.
Yeah, that was Mando for him.
All right, well, this one then is easy. 3 for me and Lou is obviously Bad Batch then.
Yeah.
Again,
hey, we're back to matching. All 3 of us actually have this, are finally in sync on something. After
do all 3 of us have Bad Batch as 3? Oh, right on.
Yeah.
I mean, that show was awesome, right? I mean, when we watched Bad Batch back at freaking Celebration, whatever, in Anaheim.
Got 15.
Yeah, it was amazing.
2015
Even
Anaheim,
a rough copy of it. And then they said, no, you're going to get the whole series now. All the characters were great. Even Omega, even the Lone Wolf story kind of thing. I liked all of it. Start to finish. Just more Empire stuff, how everything happened.
I think when we first started talking about Bad Batch, I had a big problem with Omega because I was really tired of the
Yes,
and I think that was coming off of Resistance, and so it was like, oh, good, the whiny kid who every time something happens, it's because she happened to flip a switch at the right time by just leaning over and trying to look at something, and she happened to bump the thing that fixes the problem and allows them to get into hyperspace or whatever, But I feel like they definitely course corrected that as time went on. And she wasn't near as insufferable as she was at the beginning. I feel like the difference between season 1 and season 2 to me, her character changed in a much more positive way where she was actually part of the group as opposed to just being around the group. I like the fact that
sure.
I like, it was Tech, right? Tech died and they didn't magically bring him back at some point down the road. Because they've done that shit too, where they're like, oh, this person's dead. Never mind, he's here. He saved himself by catching himself on a tree or something. Like the fact that he was just dead, and then we had to deal with a quote unquote major Star Wars character dying, and the repercussions of that for those characters. That I thought was handled really well. There were a couple times where a boat would come out of the fog, and they would be all, ooh, who's on the boat? And I'm just like, God damn it. That type of thing. And thankfully they never backtracked on that. So I appreciated that. That was for a kid's show. I think that's something that they don't, it's one of those aspects of life they don't talk enough about. But so yeah, 3 was Bad Batch for me as well.
Anything to add, Lou?
I was thinking that, do I think no, because the same thing Duke said, because when I was going through and thinking about it, I'm like, the fact that they did not bring Tech back was fantastic. So he basically covered it. That show was just very good. It mattered to the grand scheme of what was going on. We got some history of what Palpatine was doing on that one planet. It was just so well.
Thanos, right? Thanos?
And it even tied into what was going on with Mando with the whole cloner shit with their symbols. I mean, it tied a lot of it together. It was just so good.
I feel like out of all of the shows, it handled where it was in the universe the least ham-fisted. It wasn't like, ooh, Emperor Palpatine's calling, I gotta go take this call. It was all very I'm here on behalf of the Emperor, but then that was it. He was the guy with the glove, Hemlock. See, the fact that I remember names, and it's been 5 years since Bad Batch was when something Hemlock shows up, and he's like, I'm representing the Emperor, and I'm going to be this bad guy. So instead of him being a middleman, where every time somebody walks in a room, he's talking to Palpatine on the phone or whatever, the fact that he was the main bad guy, he was the main driving force of, I appreciated that as well, without them again leaning too much into the well, we better make sure people know that he's working for Palpatine. He basically said his piece and moved on with it, right? And all the other characters.
They focused on the characters from that show, and even though we knew there was a bigger picture, they didn't need to bring the bigger picture in. We can still focus on those characters.
Exactly.
So,
and there was mentions of them going and finding other clones that had turned, but there was never it was never the driving point of the series, right? They were oh, that'd be cool if we found other guys who were like us, but it's all about us, right? So again, making mention of the bigger picture, but not making it a force,
not making them the bigger
force.
Picture, right? It's happening around them. There's little spokes that go out, but Darth Vader never showed up looking for them.
Right. So cool. Lou, what do you got for number 2?
Rebels.
Rebels.
I have Andor. But, yeah.
And Jack, you had Clone Wars too?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, are we on 2?
Yeah,
we're on 2.
Bro. Yeah.
Right.
We're on 2, and all 3 of us have something different.
Nice. Well, we're back. I mean, we agreed on 1. I think we agreed on 1 or 2.
Number 3? Yeah.
Yeah. So you have Jack, you have Clone Wars at 2?
Yes. Only because, spoiler, obviously at this point, Rebels is Star Wars to me. If I could only watch one Star Wars forever, it would be Rebels. That being said, a lot of that is influenced by what happened in Clone Wars. So I can acknowledge that Clone Wars overall is better and has done more for Star Wars. But if I had to watch something over again, it would be Rebels. But Clone Wars it brought us everything, right? It filled in the Clone Wars, what happened for those 3 years between 2 and 3. It showed us Anakin and Obi-Wan's relationship. It brought us Ahsoka. It brought us Cad Bane. It brought back Darth Maul. It brought in Mandalore. We'd never seen Mandalore before, right? So it's done so much for Star Wars. And I am, as the kids say, I'm dead ass. If somebody tells me they don't like Clone Wars, I cannot respect their opinion on Star Wars. I honestly cannot at this point because it's such an impactful show.
Is there, I mean, I guess there is probably, I would imagine because of Star Wars fans and they suck, there is a segment of people who don't like the Clone Wars, like on the whole.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I don't, cartoons, I'm out.
Oh, okay. So people who are just like anti-animation or anti, like...
That's usually what it is.
If it's not real life, it's not real to me. Like I said, Star Wars fans suck. But we established that 25 years ago that Star Wars fans suck. We are the worst.
I don't know. We established that maybe 14 years ago.
Well, Jack and I established that standing in line for driving by the people in the Phantom Menace line in front of Grauman's Theater. All right, Lou. So you had...
I have Rebels number 2 behind Clone Wars, and it was a back and forth. It was like, I don't know which one to put here. Rebels was really well done after season 1, or after halfway through season 1. You've got some dumb shit that happened. You know, dude had a slingshot for a little while, but whatever. You kind of just get past that. It's just, there's not a whole lot of bad I can say about Rebels. I just like Clone Wars more, is all, when all said and done. I'm trying to think of like, okay, what's bad about Rebels? I'm like, minus the little bit of shit that I just like the slingshot and some of the stuff season 1. That show, I don't know, man. That show had exponential growth of how good it was. You know, you start here, a lot of times, you know, it goes, no, this one just took off. And it was really well done. I probably only disappointed that we didn't get more stories of the Ghost Crew. I mean, it's like, Ahsoka and Ahsoka season 2, I assume, is trying to fill that in. I get that, but
well, and so is Mando and Grogu with Zeb. So maybe. He was in. I mean, they're not really filling it in, but they're giving you an idea about what he was doing outside of.
Hopefully, they'll give us some exactly. Hopefully, they'll like, they'll have a line in there that talks about I've been doing this since I left the Ghost Crew or whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
That would be fine.
Only if he mentions his boyfriend Callus, though. Hell yeah.
You know what? I was curious about that. I was curious if that's going to come up, or even in as an aside, the whole a friend of mine does this or knew this or just something that has that would be super cool. But it has to be behind Clone Wars for me, just because Clone Wars was so deep. There was so much going on and so much explanation that happened in the Clone Wars 7 seasons. And then it all caps into that last 3-episode arc that tied into Revenge of the Sith so perfectly. It was just, oh my God, it's just, that's a show that, like, it's like, hey, You need to watch again. You're on the plane. You need to watch something. You're watching Rebels or you're watching Clone Wars, and I'm watching Clone Wars. But I'm not sad. Hey, sorry, the DVD's broken. You have to watch Rebels. Oh, darn. I'm still winning.
Like an old man, the DVD's broken.
Yeah.
Old man Lou.
Don't you guys on
Lou's
the plane?
Sitting here on the flight. I'd like a gin and tonic and the Clone Wars DVDs, please.
Yeah. Don't you guys have your portable DVD players that you take with you on a flight?
Lou has his carry-on is literally just the 7 seasons of Clone Wars and a portable DVD.
DVD player, right? It's like you guys probably use those. I don't know, man. Whatever. I know. Yes, portable. It's about this big. That big. Just opens up. Put one disc in. Plays. Plug in your headphones.
Plays on this just fine.
No, that's for games.
My top 2, much like you guys were saying, is really kind of 1A and 1B. Like Andor for me was, as far as like modern Star Wars, it's for me personally is really hard to beat. Like,
so your number 2 is Rebels then?
No, my number 2 is Andor.
No, number 2 was Andor. Number 1.
My number 1's Rebels. And again, like you were saying, Jack, like as far as Star Wars, like, and that's why I'm saying 1A and 1B. Like, to me, you could watch Rebels and Andor and get everything that all the other shows that we've talked about today, you could get the same feelings, type of thing but I feel like both of those, for me personally, both of those shows really encapsulated, I feel like I was just talking about Bad Batch and Omega, like, I feel like the first, like, maybe 3 episodes of Rebels, Ezra was in that same boat of like, oh God, he's going to be annoying. But they fixed that so fast and he felt like part of the group and he was contributing, and it was his storyline again, then came into alignment with the rest of them and that type of thing. And, Andor, just the politics, the Mon Mothma stuff, Luthen, Clea, that's my favorite character. Oh yeah. Brasso, just the whole, I in hindsight, I was really upset when they said, oh, we're going to condense season 2 down into because again, when they originally put it together, seasons. It was supposed to be multiple seasons, and each, season was going to be a year basically. Mm-hmm. And I was like, no, I really want more of this. But then I feel like they handled it as well as they could for the time frame that they were given. I think that those decisions and stuff were out of their hands as far as that goes, right? Like, and I think maybe that made the show better because they did have to cut out a bunch of the quote unquote filler stuff, right? Mm-hmm. The only filler stuff I felt that was in that was in Andor was kind of the Saw stuff, which was cool. But then, like, at the end, when him and that the kid were getting high as shit, and then they just kind of stopped. Like, we never went back to that. And I'm like, wait a second. At the end of it, I was like, wait, what happened to the guy? Oh, he's there now, and he's fine. And I'm like, wait a second. No. This motherfucker was getting high on his own supply with Saw back on the whatever planet they were on.
Yeah, but that was just to give us like what Saw's problem was. That whole, yeah. That story was just for that. What's interesting is our top 3. Our top 3 have young character that was kind of annoying as shit and then got better. Ezra, annoying as shit, got better. Ahsoka, annoying as shit. Sky Guy, R2E, and then got better. Omega, annoying as shit, got better. It's interesting that our top 3 are basically top 3 anyway, minus obviously Andor, but
Andor,
those 3
even
were
Andor
characters.
Had the flashbacks. So even Andor, and Andor's flashbacks, in my opinion, weren't bad. Like, but they also serve the purpose for that season, right? Like,
for season 1, when he's looking for a sister.
We all agree on character development is the most important thing in our shows.
Yeah,
Well, and
always has been for me. I've always known that.
And bringing them into the universe, right? Like bringing them into alignment with where the show is going, right? Instead of it changing the direction of the show, they get into the flow of where the show, like it's making it so. I don't know. Maybe I'm not explaining in my head. It sounds great, but then when I say it, it doesn't make any sense. But having the person join the universe as opposed to that person changing the show to make it about them, if that makes sense.
Yep. All right. Hypothetical time. If Samurai Jack Clone Wars was allowed to be on your list, where do you slot it?
I mean, it's top 5 for me. Like, yeah, I love that shit.
For sure. I'd probably push everything down from 5. I'd drop that in 5.
I think it would be 3.5 for me. It would be between 3 and 4 for me.
I would probably put it right after.
It would be 4, so it would probably and push everything down.
Yeah, I would put it as 3 and bump everything down. That just the simplicity and the time that it came out. And again, like relating it to Samurai Jack and all that kind of stuff, like, you know, the Samurai Jack animation style, I thought, especially at the time, was really cool. I haven't watched Primal, his last show. I'm keeping an eye on it, but I haven't.
Like, why does that sound familiar?
It's been going on. I think it's 4 seasons, 5 seasons, something like that. So, excuse me.
All right. So good work. I think we were able to explain well enough why we like or didn't like something, where it wasn't just because, you know. I hate that shit. So yay us. All right. We don't have much time left, so let's look more at this list of other things to cover.
Do we want to talk about the movies, the Disney movies?
No.
Lou's like, wait, I have to pick a number 1 out of this? No, I'm not. All right, Jack. So you said
no. That's easy. If we had to pick a number 1, it's Rogue One, and then after that, then who cares?
I mean, honestly,
I do have a soft spot in my heart for Solo, but that's neither here nor there.
Like Jack talked about me on a rewatch, I didn't mind Solo the second time. It's not one that I make a point to go watch. Like, I was like, I think I would watch a bunch of anything else other than Solo. But if it's on, remember back in the day, who was it? TNT, TBS, they would do Star Wars weekend. If it was on, I'm going to catch myself washing dishes. Then I'm going to hear freaking something from Solo. And I'm going to finish those dishes and sit down and watch the rest of it. That's how I did it back in the day. But no, it's Rogue One, not even close.
Let's see. So Jack's question is, what do you guys think about more Jedi surviving Order 66, especially as new shows media come out?
No problem to me. You have 10,000 Jedi, and we're talking about maybe, 50 100? Or so? Yeah, even
100.
Even 100's 1%. So people are going to bitch about 1% surviving?
Yeah.
No, screw that. No, I have no problem with that.
I feel like if they're brought in a way that... But again, I feel this way about anything. When you introduce a character, if you introduce a character in a way that makes sense for the universe, in a way that makes sense for the story, I don't have a problem with it. It's when you go, oh, this one character, is really popular, but we don't have we're going to just shoehorn him in to whatever's happening, right? Beyond a mention, right? So like in Obi-Wan, they mentioned Quinlan Vos, but that was it. It wasn't like all of a sudden he opened the door and Vos is standing there. Hey, what's up? Then that would have bothered me, because like you're not bringing him in an organic way, right? To where it makes sense for him to still be alive, right? So if you do that, cool. Now I'll be interested to find out if we get anything about Devin and Doki's, past, as far as how they got to the planet they were on, how they got to the, I don't necessarily need a flashback or anything, but how did they survive, right? Like we've seen that a few different ways with Kanan and that type of thing, kind of their backstory to get to get to where they were in the show. But that would be my only request or whatnot. So
yeah, I'd like to think that we're gonna get that story in some kind of flashback now that the two of them are back together. Something will come up, something, but they'll let us know whether they were just not in like I don't know if they're gonna survive Clone Troopers, when Order 66 happens. My guess is they were just off doing something else.
Yeah.
Well,
like
what if they were on this planet, right?
Like the majority of them were.
That's my thought. My thought they were already on the plane. Yes, that's what I was thinking. They were already there for whatever.
There's no
whatever
Empire
reason.
there, so it's possible that the Republic wasn't there, right? Because it wasn't a military strategy type of planet.
Strategic.
So, but Duke's right though. You want to bring in another Jedi survived. Don't care as long as you write it in a good way and don't just force something on us.
Force something
on us.
What about you, Jack? What's your 2 cents?
I don't mind it. I have enjoyed the Jedi Survivor series. I think Cal is a great Jedi. It makes sense that Maul needs what do you call that?
Apprentice.
He needs somebody to go against, right? And we can't make it Ahsoka anymore, right?
He needs an adversary of some
is
kind.
Done. So he needs to have Joe Schmo is not going to be an adversary for Maul, right?
Right.
They can't fight with lightsabers.
The police captain isn't going to be a real.
No,
as far
which
as
is why they're bringing in the Inquisitors, right? That's why the Inquisitors show
exactly.
up.
Yeah, and that'd be fine. But I mean, Maul's a badass. He always has been. He only got beat by the epitome of Jedi in Obi-Wan, even when he was just a child. But nobody beats Obi-Wan. The fucking Chosen One couldn't even beat him. So you can't hold that against Maul that he got beat by Obi-Wan. A lot of people want to. But Maul's a badass. So he can't just go up against the cops and fucking Joe Schmo. And, anybody that wants to go against him.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Maul kind of acknowledges that in Rebels, right? When him and Obi-Wan are kind of having their conversation of like, hey, like, you were the one person that I know that, that I couldn't.
People also have to realize the time frame from when Obi-Wan beat him to where we are now. I mean, we're like 14 years ahead. Mm-hmm. So Maul has had 14 years to build up his hate, which makes him more powerful. So 14 years prior to, he got beat and deserved to. Now, he's a little more powerful. He still loses to Obi-Wan because Obi-Wan is the shit. But people need to understand Maul
he is a badass. He's only been beaten by Obi-Wan and Sidious. I don't even think Ahsoka really beat him at the end of Clone Wars.
Oh, at the end of Clone Wars.
But again, Ahsoka's up there. She's not Obi-Wan level, but she is a really good fighter. She was trained by the Chosen One, right? So if anybody's going to beat her, it's going to be Anakin's apprentice. But Maul is a badass. He has to fight a Jedi. All those Inquisitors, they're going to go down. It's not even a question.
No way they're good enough. Yeah, no way they're good enough.
And the only reason they're going to live is because we know Merrick and that crow-faced dude are later in the universe, later in the timeline. But any other Inquisitor shows up, guarantee they're dead.
Well, that one that was basically resurrected, that one he could kill. And then
that was Merrick, right?
Yeah.
And then they explain to us how that one gets resurrected.
Why was he like some weird dust monster when Ahsoka got him? But yeah.
That could be a situation where they end up back on Dathomir somehow, and some night witch from somewhere, or Morgan,
maybe they'll bring Morgan in. Yeah,
exactly. Or Morgan shows up, and they're gonna have to, and she like has a little pet, side project. But I'd like to think they're going to explain that. So yeah.
Well, we got a season and a half for them too.
Yep. Well, we'll keep it Star Wars. One last quick thing. Star Wars Celebration tickets got announced. We're all going, right?
I mean, yeah.
No questions asked. That's absolute. I know old girl's going. She's been excited about it ever since.
Anaheim 2, right? Yeah,
Anaheim 2 in 22.
Yeah,
she was excited about it then. Was excited for all of us for
Japan.
And made a point to say that the next one she's like, I want to go. I'm like, all right. So
what's my arm?
Tickets May 6th, noon your time.
The only time that matters.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm working, this is something that I would tell bosses, like, hey, I'm gonna need to work from home this day, and I already told old girl to leave me her laptop so I can have 2 devices, and if I'm working, 3 devices. But yeah, absolutely going. We'll worry about the details later because the hotel shit's gonna be a bitch. But other than that, super solid. Looking forward to it. I'm glad. And if people are like, oh my God, tickets should have been on sale already. I'm like, did y'all not remember when they went on sale 2 years ago for Japan? Yeah. It was around that first week of May. Hey, guess what? It's the first week of May again. Calm down, people. A lot of bitches on that website, though, complaining about stuff. It's like, oh my God, how can you afford this? It's $261 to go for 4 days. I'm like, my first thought was, only? Right. Only? Dude, I'll take that.
Have you ever been to Comic-Con?
Right? Thank you. We dropped $375 for Comic-Con. It's like,
every year.
People are bitching about $260 for a 4. I'm like, all right.
You've had a year to save up. 2 years by the time it comes around. So.
Yeah, there's no excuse for that. Anybody who's wanting to go, and they've known they've wanted to go, there's no excuse for you not being able to pay $261 to go to.
Yep. And that art was badass too.
It would be interesting.
That key art was freaking sweet.
Yeah,
I'm excited to magnet, see what the badges. Keychain, a button, pin.
Excited to see what the badges look like.
Mm-hmm.
So much.
Not that the badges always match up with the key art, but
we'll see. They need to. I think that the badges need to celebrate the 50 years of Star Wars, though. They don't need to get into gimmicky Hollywood. Everybody's like California surfing fucking Darth Vader, right? They need to lean into the legacy.
If they use the Rolling Stone, pictures of Leia on the beach, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
I only want stuff from New Hope. That's it. It's 50th anniversary of New Hope. Give me New Hope stuff. Period.
But you know what? I'm okay if it's 50th of Star Wars too, because it did start it. So it's okay if it spreads all of Star Wars.
See, I don't like that because with that rationale, in 3 years when it's Empire's 50th, then what?
Empire gets 50th, but A New Hope is kind of stuck. It needs to lean towards New Hope, but it also needs to celebrate 50 years of Star Wars.
But I think it'd be really hard for them to come up with 15 badges. Is that normally how many there are? 15, 17 badges, something like that.
Well,
that are all A New Hope driven.
No, it wouldn't. It would not be hard.
No, without getting like Jawas and R5, D5, and
Jawas be the kids. Having Jawas be the kids badge would be pretty badass, though.
Fucking Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru.
Burnt Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, or the VIP ticket.
It'd be an all black badge,
right?
Dewback. Dewback is the Sunday badge.
Luke, Leia, Han, 3PO, Chewie, R2. That's like Vader. 6 right there.
Obi-Wan.
And you got Vader, Stormtrooper, Obi-Wan. That's 3 more. You're already at 9. You could come up with
Boba Fett, Jabba,
Tarkin,
Boba, Mon Mothma.
She wasn't in episode 4. Not even the special editions.
They didn't have it. I thought they did the Flash. They didn't do. Mon Mothma was Mon Mothma, not in episode 4. Really?
Not in episode 4. Yeah.
No.
Okay. She was in.
Why don't you go watch it, Lou?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched A New Hope before?
Jesus.
Yeah.
We can spend an hour and a half talking about Star Wars, and you don't even know where it came from.
So, let's see. General Dodonna.
Bro. Oh, yeah, no. Hold on.
Biggs.
I was like, wait.
Biggs, Wedge, Porkins. I want a Porkins badge. Give me a motherfucking Porkins. I'm putting that in right now.
Porkins
Give me a fucking Porkins
so cool.
badge.
I have a Porkins badge. Autographed.
I'm just saying for this one I want.
Yeah.
Which
I'll text it to you later.
Yeah, that's kind of cool, actually.
Which celebration was that one from?
It was not a celebration. It was when the Star Wars Insider was doing like badges in the art of.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Like way back in the day.
That's
like
cool.
this isn't something recent, right?
No.
What else? Mando ticks up for sale. Fuck that. Here's 52 different versions of merch.
Dude,
you can
I will
get.
tell you. First, I just got tickets, right? And then I'm like, oh, now they got this version. Nope, got to refund those. Nope, I got to refund those because now they got the super sipper. So I finally landed on that one that you get the pin and the popcorn and the collector cup.
I want none of it. Old girl wants the Grogu popcorn thing and the AT-AT popcorn thing. Those are the two that I thought were.
The movie.
That was when Lou tuned out. Was when Jack was like, "Hey, wait, they just listed this. Hey, wait, they just listed this. Hey, I just bought 8 tickets for El Capitan because I got to go 5 times this weekend." Like,
hey, those
in order to get everything.
I wasn't kidding. If I lived there, why not?
Yeah, no, 100%. If Jack and I lived there, we would be in El Capitan we wouldn't even have to trade for pins because we'd be going so often. We would collect them all. Like
we just traded with each other. Oh, I got this
again. We saw episode 1 19 times together. Like I didn't see episode 1 in the theater by myself. Like every single time was with Jack. Like we both.
Man, y'all got me beat. I only saw it 11, so damn.
But again,
granted, I did catch when episode 1 came out. I did have the 12:01 show, and then went right into a 4:20 show. That I went different theaters. I went from it was basically I went from Neonopolis. Is that what it was? It's called Neonopolis?
Yeah, downtown.
I went from Neonopolis at midnight 01 to Green Valley Ranch at 4:20. Don fell asleep during the 4:20.
I don't doubt it.
But weeks after when we were like, oh, look, there's a digital screening. We should go see that. So we drive our asses out to fucking Burbank to go fucking watch the digital screening because at that time there was only like 4 digital theaters in the world or something. And everyone's like, this digital thing isn't going to take off. And then fucking 5 years later, every single theater has digital. But yeah.
No, so. I haven't even bought my tickets to Mando season 4 yet.
Had Jack and I lived together through the rest of the prequels and the sequels, I guarantee you we would have seen them way more than we did. All 8.
All right, we're running long, so.
All right, we can stop there and pick up the rest of it.
Yep. Next week will be more fun. We got nothing going on, so I should be good for normal.
Okay. Good. I mean, good chats, guys. This was fun.
Yeah, there were 0 awkward silences, so enjoy this extended episode.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. Enjoy it, Lou. Enjoy it. You can re-listen to this whenever you want.
Fuck you, dude. What you gotta bring your black jokes? Okay. Really?
Lou, stroke.
That's not how it worked, man. We just be in a cage. I'd be sitting there the whole time with my little knees all up, just chilling, just
All right, boys.
Have
yourselves a good week, and we'll do it again in 6.
Peace out, y'all.
Whatever.
Bye.